We love it. We hate it. We hate it and love it again. Yes, it's Warcraft, and we're here to talk about it. Welcome to the WoW Reckoning Hour. Hello, fellow gamers, and welcome to episode 4 of the WoW Reckoning Hour. I am Leonard, your host of the show, along with my co-host Sam, and we are here to talk to you about Nighthold Mythic fun, along with some things that are going on with 7.2 PTR. Before we get into everything, I want to kind of see what we've been all doing this week. So, Sam, ladies first, go ahead.
Well, I haven't really been doing a whole lot. Inside World of Warcraft, I've just been grinding out AP, and obviously we've been raiding, which was really fun. And outside of WoW, I've just been taking care of my husband who hurt his back and took the week off. So he probably would tell you I haven't been doing a very good job. But then again, women always think men whine too much, but we love you anyway. Right. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we're all big babies when we get hurt.
Yeah.
I've been having a good time. My liver maybe not, but I have been having a great time. My one of my best friends, like I said, I'm in here in Houston and having a great time with him, as well as his girlfriend comes to visit with her kids, and just been having fun with that. I've been learning how to ripstick. I don't know what it is, but it's like this little thing you get on, and you have to wiggle to make it move, and you ride it like if you were to try to snowboard.
Okay.
Maybe snowboard at some point in time in my life.
Okay, sounds good. If you can find some snow in Texas, you'll be good to go.
Well, I would be traveling for that. And and playing darts, and just having a good time visiting, and it's been a blast. Didn't get to go to the zoo, the Houston Zoo, when they went, but I really wanted to. I just didn't make it.
Nice. Do they have polar bears at the Houston Zoo?
I don't know. I don't know what they have there. I mean, I know that it seemed like this monster of a place, but that was last time I was there. I was thinking I was 10, or maybe a little bit older, maybe 12. But it's been a long time. I've been dying to go back there because I'm a big kid. So.
Yeah, that's very true.
But what did we do this week? On a quick update on what happened this week with Gold Dan.
Well, here's an interesting thing. So I got that, remember? Okay, so Tuesday we got to Star Augur, right? And we did a couple of attempts on that. Mm-hmm. And I think by the end of it we were pretty tired. But then I did the Kirin Tor emissary quest, and I got this really cool toy out of it, the Wonder Ball or Wondrous Wonder Ball or whatever, which is like the Magic 8-Ball, but with Khadgar's head. So jokingly, we get into raid on Thursday, and I'm like, okay, because I honestly didn't think we were gonna the botanist. I really thought we were gonna have a hard time with that because there's just so much going on, and so many colors and shiny things happening, and I get distracted, and I'm not the only one. But anyway, so I jokingly said, okay, we're going to ask the Magic 8-Ball, Khadgar, and we're going to see what he said. And so he said, I asked him if we were going to down Gul'dan this week, and he was like, absolutely yes. And we were all like, aha, that's a funny haha. And then we walked through Botanist. We didn't walk through Lysandra, but pretty much. And then Gul'dan only took us four attempts?
Yeah. So might have been 5. I don't know. We did work on it for almost an hour and a half. We were working on it. So we did down Gul'dan. So yes. The Gul'dan is dead. And
that was even with those kind of the buggy, what do they call it?
With the eyes and stuff, with getting too close. And that was the main thing that we were having trouble on.
Yeah.
That's what we were wiping on. It wasn't because we were, being dumb on other things. It's just we were wiping to our stupid placements and things like that are...
It was not in our control. And I haven't read anything that they've fixed that yet either. So, but granted, that was just on Thursday. But you have to give it to Peaches and Fade and Helidin. They really figured that out and made it work. And then the guys in the back, I don't know what you were doing with your big shieldy things, but I mean, I kept seeing them pop off, and it was oh, yay, good. And I actually was very surprised that we did it. And I thought it was just humorous that the Magic 8 Ball said so.
Yeah. And it was the classic thing where it's like, hey guys, this is our last pull for tonight, because we were like 5 minutes to our raid ending, and we were like, no, let's do our final pull, and we will come back in here and progress further and stuff like that, and that'll be fine. And we killed it on our final pull, and I did make sure this was a really cool thing that I held myself off from doing, but it was real well worth it. The closing cinematic wasn't like crazy long like the Lich King thing, but my complete love for Illidan and things like that, it was just
really have a hard on for Illidan.
The chills that went through when I saw that. Amazing job, Blizzard, on that. And it made me feel like it's like Illidan was like, all right, we're now about to get stuff started. So it's very exciting.
Crushed the crap out of Gul'dan's skull. He was just like, you know what, bro? Boom.
Well, Alliance has got to love it, because that's what he did to King. So, so it's kind of like a payback. It's kind of, oh man. Illidan,
I feel like Illidan, if you're listening, bro, if you're listening, I think you should email Snipe your phone number, because he's single. He's single. He wants some flashy, cool tattoos with Felfire coming out of them. You guys could bond.
Yeah, let's get the tribal.
You can squish people's skulls for fun on your first date.
Yeah. Illidan is awesome. So it was great, and it was a really good feeling on killing Gul'dan. Unfortunately, I didn't have the night shards enough, so I wasn't able to get my. I know
I was like 3 shy, but we did get the runic mana saber or whatever the heck, and it's pretty cool, and it does fly, but that glitched out on both of us right when we went back to get it.
Oh yeah. So anybody that quick news on that is, so when you're going back and you turn it into, I can't remember, it's the repair guy, and then he'll port you up there. Yeah, Oculus, is it?
Oculus, whatever.
And he'll port you up there, and then for whatever reason it wasn't pinging saying I can turn anything in, and there's a portal behind you to take you back to Shalaran. And so I'm like, I don't want to leave, and then everyone's like, drop the quest. And I was like, let me try this first. So I just portaled out, and then I pulled it back up, and then it the first Arcanist, she actually started doing her little thing, where her little dialogue stuff. So I was able to get the Mana Saber mount, which is really cool. So I know there was we didn't have it. So quick update to that is, as soon as you mount up, it automatically puts you in your disguise form. If you dismount, you can't attack while on the mount. You can't pick up anything while on the mount, but when you do, you still have your disguise on. So it's really cool. So and luckily, if you have it, then it's still like, if you got dismounted or you got pulled out or anything like that out of your disguise, you don't have to mount back up. It does have the emblem to say, hey, just put on your disguise. So you don't lose your disguise altogether. But normally you're just probably grabbing the mana stuff, and then you're just mount up and keep riding around trying to find out where stuff is. But it was really cool onto that. I really like the mount. It's my first saber type mount. So I'm really excited about it.
You don't have the saber that they sell?
No, I never, the jewel crafting ones and stuff like that. No, I never got any of those.
No, but they do have one at the WoW store. Yeah.
Oh, do they? I never got it.
Yeah, I had that one, but this one is better because it has the seat. But hey, I don't know if this is just because I forgot to say this, and apparently, remember, I get everything. Do you remember this big thing in the guild? I get everything. Yeah. Okay, but then so I'm like, no, I don't get everything. And then yesterday I went into Zelgrub, Zelaran, whichever one. Remember they revamped that's over in Stranglethorn. Zulaman. Okay, so I go in there just to find the elder, and also to I had to down it, and I got the raptor.
I don't even want to hear this.
But here's the catch is of course, it's not just a secret, right? It tells the whole guild that I get this, and I'm like, okay. And then Stinkle's like, you can have that one. It looks just like the trolls. Saber? No, yeah, the trolls. They're trolls raptor, and I'm like, well, thanks, But I truly, for anyone listening, I truly don't get everything. Just because I'm lucky with mounts does not mean I get everything, because I literally have to whine and cry for loot normally.
And a bittersweet moment for me yesterday. My paladin got his first legendary.
Yesterday was like legendaries raining from the sky for our guild. There was like 4 people.
Yeah.
The Akro got one. Andre got one on his warrior. You got one, and then somebody else got one. I think it was Orange.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you want to hear the bitter moment about it?
Can't use it.
No, I can use it because it's my first one. But I had
it's the rat one.
I had my retribution priority onto my ret. Loot's priority was set to ret. I don't even remember when I clicked that. So
and you got the back too. You know what? I remember when you clicked that. It was when you were tanking that run because Drama was with us on his paladin, and you figured that you would just get the gear and hand it over to him if you needed it. So see, you're trying to be a nice guy, and then
yeah. And I was thinking about putting a ticket in, but you know what? There's when I look at the prop legendaries and stuff like, there's not really one. That would be so hard for them, and I don't want them to be like of my stupidity onto that. Didn't check it, didn't even think about it, and so it is what it is. And I'll wait till months later before I get my another legendary. So I'm still doing the weather training, and so I got to do the weather training to get my hidden for my prop.
Oh, right. Yeah, I got that already, but I stopped doing the hidden. And weather training on a disc priest is like pretty much the most impossible thing in the world. So I've given up, and I'm just like, nope, I give up. Done.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get into the quick news. Yeah, so there's been some cool things that have been happening on not only on WoW but some of the other games. So real quick, there was a WoW token issue that had been taken. They had to take it down for a little bit, but it's been back up. So if y'all are worried about that, or if you've been looking for those and trying to figure why it wasn't working before, everything is good with that. As far as Nighthold, there's been some quick fixes or hot fixes to that have come out and fixed some bugs issues, like the balance of power with everyone that's gotten all their night shards and everything like that. Sometimes Gul'dan was not dropping the item that you needed, so you can get you finish the balance of power so you can get your hidden look and all that kind of good stuff. So that has been fixed. As well as there's a really cool post out there for anyone that doesn't have Pathfinder Part 1. Blizzard did a post that allowed that kind of walked you through. When I looked at the achievement, I thought it was pretty self-explanatory of what you needed, but Blizzard did do a post on how to complete that, how to get your Pathfinder Part 1.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Nice of them.
Yeah, it was good. And it's always you can go to worldwarcraft.com and then you can click on the news section and it'll be under there. Then some really cool things. Diablo 3 did a live Q&A on January 26th that you can go check out. Any of the Diablo 3 players or anyone that likes to go play it. I'd like to play it when the new expansion and all that kind of good stuff comes out. I'll go check it out, all that kind of good stuff. But they did a whole live Q&A about necromancers. So that was pretty neat. And then as HOTS or Heroes of the Storm, this year they got Heroes of the Dorm 2017 will be hosted by Facebook. So they're really trying to push that Facebook Live thing that seem like they're basically kind of partnering with Blizzard on this and trying to get to this Facebook Live stuff. I know a lot of people have been eating it up on Facebook and posting their little videos and all that kind of good stuff. So it's been really neat onto that. As well as Hero Storm has done a Rexar and Tassadar redo, basically, and then a new hero's coming into Heroes of the Storm, which is Alexis Grotov, not Russian. I'm sure that Andre, which is Brookz' husband, could probably say it a lot better than I can. But so it's a new hero coming to Heroes of the Storm. And then Hearthstone is bringing out a Trinity series. And so the Trinity series, it's along with team leagues. So you have two. So one of them is the team leagues is 2 teammates take on 2 other team peoples or 2 other teammates. And so you have your deck and you have a friend or whatever person that's with you, and you're taking on 2 other people. So it seems like a pretty neat concept. I might check that out in Hearthstone. I don't play a lot of Hearthstone, but I might check it out.
Hearthstone's pretty cool. I mean, I got the mount when it first came out. I played it enough.
Right. But that is all the news I have. Do you have any news there, Brooks, that you wanted to
No,
pop out
like
there?
I just had I thought it was interesting about the WoW token because I mean for those of us who would rather not grind out our money, I usually buy those and then put them on the auction house for people to buy, and that's how I make my money. The easy way, I guess you can say.
Right.
But yeah, so I thought it was a little bit weird that that people were like it was I guess glitched or broken or just out of commission.
I think it was only down for like a day, but with a lot of things out there, sometimes you think it's down for a day and you're like, I'll come check it later, type kind of thing. And then so it wasn't a huge thing that was down for a long time, but it was down. So, but I'm glad they got that back up because I know there's a lot of stuff they want to do.
I'm really
with WoW tokens.
I'm kind of surprised though that there wasn't like a big, march of somebody complaining about these WoW tokens.
Yeah. Why? I think it's because they were ahead of the storm on that. I think they posted it as soon as and they said, "Hey, it's got to come down for a little bit," and then they got it back up pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I think they were just ahead of the storm on that. So a lot of times you can negate a lot of people's negativity if you just present it, saying, "Hey, yep, there's something that's going wrong." I think the reason why it went down is because they're trying to make it for paid services, like for race change, faction change, so on and so forth. That you'll be. Yeah, and I think they're trying some stuff, and I think they accidentally broke something when they were trying to import it. But that's all speculation. I'm not quoting anything or any blue posts that is out there on that.
That's
but
interesting.
It was pretty neat.
Interesting concept.
Now we're going into the Mythic Race, so it's been really cool, and
your soul will serve me well.
That is right. So the Mythic Race has been something that has been going on, trying to everyone get their world first. So keep in mind that US gets an extra day, and then EU gets to join the race, and then Asia gets to join the race last. So there's been some pretty good pushes on to day one. It was 6 bosses that were down. Basically day one, mythic bosses. And SNF took the first ones onto that. Limit held up and did basically a lot of they did the heroic split with that, so they're getting some heroic. They weren't starting off. Essentially, some people will say that they were starting off slow, but they weren't really starting off slow. They were just making sure they were getting some of the heroic splits into there before they pushed, and then they came in and started pushing out of nowhere. And so they started with I think they started to show up at Spellblade, and then they got Hychondrius down, which Limit was first on that, and as well as Cronus, and then Limit kind of sputtered out on after that, and everyone kind of got stuck on High Botanist for a little while. Serenity, which is EU, has pushed, and they came in on their day, and they pretty much caught up to everything, and they were the first to take down High Botanist, and then Limit was followed that, along with Exorcist Method, so on and so forth. Then they got the Star Augur. They finally got that, but it's only been, so right now, taking the lead currently is Serenity, and Exorcist is closely behind. They were able to down the Star Augur onto that. So right now everyone is going into Grand Magistrix, and so that one, no one has touched on that, and obviously Gul'dan. So it's getting a close race. We'd like to see Limit pull up and do some things onto that. But what was funny is there was a little bit of drama that happened with this going into Star Augur. There was a drama issue with Serenity and Method. So Method and Serenity, they used to be one, and then they split off into their own. And so basically what happened was, so to say, is that somebody from Serenity got a message and was saying that basically, hey, will you, play with us or not play with? Will you? I want to support y'all, and I want to give you some free flasks. They grab this person, they give him flasks, and this person runs into the raid. And so then everyone else in the raid was basically got kicked out because then they're over the limit. And then the one person that ran in just went AFK sitting inside. So no one was able to get in. But Method has said that they had nothing to do with that. because it was supposedly someone that was supposed to be with Method before, but Method came out and tweeted and said, "Hey, we kicked this person out of the guild. We have no part of what this has happened. This is not how they want any of this to go," so on and so forth. So and then there's a bunch of theories. There's if you go out to Icy Veins, there's the whole thing about some theories and stuff like that made it really cool, but it was or not made it really cool, but did make you think about certain things. But it was just funny to see some drama that is happening with a world race, with someone trying to hold up Serenity and things like that. But Serenity is back out there. Like I said, they did take the lead on Star Augur, and so they're going on to Grand Magistrix next. And so we'll be holding in tune to see what's going to be going on with that. And hopefully maybe next week. But it's day 4, and we only have 2 bosses on Mythic. So hopefully Blizzard is set it up to be a little bit harder on stuff. I think a lot of people were out there saying how they didn't like how fast people were downing it, but then I go back and I think about some of our last podcast. We were talking about how we went in on normal and we were just making everything a joke. Well, we did Cronus, so we as well, but then when Tychondrius is the first one, we kind of got held up on a little bit, and then we downed him. So it's like the first 6 bosses is like, if it was easy on normal, I think you should be safe to say on heroic and as well as Mythic, it's going to be kind of the same process. So it was pretty neat, and a lot of people don't realize about how some of the other stuff, and when you look at things on normal and things like that, it's going to only translate when it goes to Mythic and things of that nature as well. All right, so we wanted to now get into the 7-2 PTR.
7-2, the land of flying.
That's right. There is a lot of fun. So I know it's really early to be talking about 7-2, but there's so much that is happening in the 7-2 PTR that I think it's going to be really neat for a lot of people, and kind of like an update for individuals to realize on how certain things work. And it's kind of what we want to kind of cover things, so you're not wasting certain things that are out there, and you'll make sense here very shortly. But yeah, 7-2 is a lot of fun, and I'm predicting. I'm gonna throw out my first prediction out here.
Are you trying to be Khadgar? Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah, I'm predicting we're gonna probably be seeing 7-2 probably towards the end of April, and then the raid is gonna be in May.
That's ambitious. I think that's ambitious. I don't think so.
Well, if you look at when BlizzCon came, right? And the months that they were saying for 715, and I think only the reason 715 came out later than a lot of people expected was because it was going to the Christmas holidays and so on and so forth through that. So Blizzard already knew that. And then they said, hey, it's going to be coming like first, second week of January. And it did. It came exactly when they said it was going to come, and then it's pushed in, and then Nighthold. And I mean, everything's been following exactly. So if we follow that same model that they've been doing, yeah, it would only make sense. Now I think this one's going to be a little bit longer. That's why I'm going a little bit longer than like 2.5 months or so. But yeah, I'm thinking 7-2 is going to come with all its changes and everything like that in April, sometime in April, probably towards the end of April, and then we'll be looking at the new raid in May. It's my thought.
I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree with you, just because I know like you said, we were kind of surprised on certain bosses in normal and how easy that they were. But again, I feel like it's because we are geared for the normal, like over geared almost, I would say. And we still have, there's a lot of mechanics, a lot more mechanics that are in Nighthold than were in Emerald Nightmare. I mean, it's kind of night and day. Right. People blowing through Emerald Nightmare, that was not a hard thing to do in reality. I mean, right. And then we went into TOV, and TOV was only there for what, like a couple, well, I feel like it felt like a couple weeks to me, but I might be wrong. But like then right. You saw like Helya, the mechanics, and even the tiny little mechanics on the puppy, and that's what I'm going to call him from now on, just so everyone knows. People couldn't handle it, and they had to nerf the fight. So I think that there's going to be a struggle, and I don't necessarily look at what the mechanics even did to us. You know, we struggled a little bit, whether that was RNG or not. Yeah. We did struggle, and I think that once we get into heroic, which I'm pretty excited about, so hopefully we will be able to start that in the next couple weeks. I
think we'll be able to start next week.
Well, there's still a lot of gear that our raid needs probably from normal, but
right. But that's what I would assume that we could probably get to Gul'dan next week, and we'll be pushing hard to hopefully get to him on normal. And then we might
It'd be nice to
start
start
off
a
with
couple.
him on Thursday.
Yeah, a
Yeah. I
couple
mean,
classes.
unless we get it, I think unless we get a little hiccup on somebody or something like that. But other than that, if we actually go in there and start one shot, we'll be done with him on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we just set it to heroic and we go in and start it all over again. And I think we're going to get some, but I think in a few weeks we'll be a lot further.
I think it's going to be a struggle. Like, the mechanics are kind of, to me, old school. Like, I feel like we've gone kind of old school with the mechanics. Like, it's harder. You really have to pay attention. And there's not just one or two. There's like a lot going on at the same time. And I mean, from just look at the Gul'dan fight, like there's a lot in just the normal. And we were kind of like, oh, okay, we got this. Like, we figured this out. And then, but now going into heroic, there's even more. Like, those ads that pop up, they all do something that you have to get out of. Right. And then he's throwing the beams at you. And I think that it's a lot. So I think that going for the people that want to progress from heroic into mythic, and they actually like, look at these guys. These guys it's not coming easy to them. It's not. And they're probably some of the best of the best. You know what I mean? And this is not coming easy to them. So for the rest of us who are not like hardcore mythic raiding guilds, we're going to need a little bit more time. And I think maybe you're looking maybe summer. Like, I guess I'll throw my prediction in there. I'm thinking like July, August.
August.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because this is harder content. Wow. This is harder. Like, this is almost what we're used to. Like, I mean, to us, what we just did was kind of LFR-ish.
Yeah.
And
I would be surprised if it's that late. I mean, I want
to fly just as much as the next guy, but I mean, are they really going to throw a raid out or you think they'll just nerf this one and then like bring out the next one?
I think there's some fixes that they're still working out, some bug fixes with Nighthold, but I think in a month they will be fine. I'm telling you, and you can predict it now. We can say, all right, it is January 28th, so we can say a month from now we can be having this conversation, and I think we'll have heroic done, and then we'll start to tip in on some mythic.
Write it down.
Times.
Mark it down, bro. Mark it down. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see who's right. I mean, I want the flying to come sooner, but we'll see. I mean, I think I have faith in us.
End of February. Which will be a Tuesday.
Tuesday, February. Mark your calendar.
So to give us our appropriate month, so when we'll be doing the show on March 3rd at that time. So we will definitely be talking about how it's been marked. I've already put it.
Okay, are you going to be Team Brookz or Team Sniper? Someone should email us. There should be like some bets going on. Team Brookz or Team Sniper. It's like Twilight all over again.
I have way too much. I have a lot of faith in our guild and in our players.
I have faith in our guild. I just don't know if this is going to bring that content out.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like in a sense of I just think that as we do more normals, we're getting more gear, and then heroics it's just going to be something that we're going to go through the first few bosses.
I hope so.
And we're going to burn. We're going to burn and turn and keep rolling and move through there. But so with the 7.2 changes, so one of the coolest things that I wanted to make sure that I was bringing up onto this is we all have done order hall quests, and where you go for rep and then Kirin Tor, and you do the rep on those as well. You have to pick a rep, and then you just have been burning them. I will be here first to tell you, do not burn those anymore. Put them in your bank. If you want to send it to an alt or whatever, that's fine. You can do that. But don't burn them. Don't waste them. I would say whatever your main is, put it in the bank, save onto those, because one of the cool things is so they're bringing back current content and making it relevant. 172 pops it's going to have what's considered Paragon levels. I think they're still playing with it right now in PTR. It's not really doing anything. It's just kind of like you fill up a bar and blah, blah, blah. But so when you have a faction that you're exalted with, you can continue to get rep with them. So it's also helping you make sure you're doing world quests more often and things like that. And when you fill up the bar, you get a bag of goodies, which can have current gear to eye level stuff that you're looking for. Kind of like in a sense an extra emissary that you can push for legendaries, so on and so forth, all kinds of cool stuff that's going to be into those. But how you get that is by getting additional rep. And so with you getting additional rep with them, that faction's like, thank you, you're a valued member, and we really appreciate you, helping us in this fight, and so on and so forth. And so they have pushed through that. And so it allows, and what they're introducing it as is Paragon levels, and it's going to be like 20,000 rep per.
It's not bad.
And so it's not going to be, yeah.
Quick,
so I mean, yeah, and I don't think they're going to make it unnecessary. So big deal if you saved up so many of these when it comes that you're able to maybe do it one time. Mm-hmm. And that's fine. So it's a really cool concept. And like I said, it's just bringing in, keeping current content, not like when you move in, how many times in patches and last expansions that anything that's been going on, you just don't do them anymore, especially like dungeons. They're keeping dungeons relevant. They're just keeping everything that's already there and then upping it so it keeps it more relevant for people that want to push and do other things as well.
Speaking of really not cool. Saving things though. Yeah. I was actually like a little crushed. Well, not crushed. I'm sitting on the fence about this whole shenanigans, but apparently with 7.2 comes the new artifact traits, right? So all of us that ground out there are like, you just finished 54.
54.
I am.
Hold on. I'm gonna give myself a.
Okay, pat on the back. Go.
There it is. Hey.
Even it was like wah wah wah. Anyway, so I mean, I'm almost to my 19th, so I'm about halfway through to my 19th. So probably by next week, when we finish rating on Thursday, I'll have it. So that'll be my 54th trait. So I read, and because I know, like in our guild, especially because we want to try to push into Mythic, even though we're not like a hardcore rating guild, we're just a casual rating guild, but we believe in our raid group so much that we think we can do it. And we're asking people like, hey, we need you to get that hidden for 5%. We need you to keep pushing into your hidden because it's so much more damage. Like, I mean,
it's very
14% is what you capped out at, isn't it? Or 14.5. So that's
yeah. No, mine's 14%. Okay. Was where
so huge, right? And so now they're saying once this comes out, 7.2, like whether it comes out right away or whenever throughout the 7.2 patch, that they're going to refund back to your 35th trait anything over that hidden, because they're giving us new artifact traits, and we can use that AP to put back into those traits. However, for people who are, say, like stockpiling I'm going to call them tokens, but the like items that you get as AP, you're like trying to push it in, because can you keep going? I mean, you're on your 54th one. So like if you go do a world quest and you get artifact power, do you keep filling up a bar?
No. So what happens is since I'm at my 54th, so there's a couple of things with that. So first and foremost, if you're at your 54th, when you get the item and you have to apply it first. I mean, you just get it. It's not like it's awarded to, like it is awarded to you, but you have to click it and apply the artifact power. They did that. Yeah. Well, you can keep junking it, and you shouldn't be. If you're at your 54, you should be jumping onto. I think how they set this up, there's no way that you can get 54 on all of your artifact weapons.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
The idea that you can get 54, I do quite a bit, and maybe I don't do enough mythic pushes.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I mean, the only possible way I would like, and that's where that goes into this, the other thing about like the mythic race and stuff. Like these guys are going in, they have alts and stuff like that. They're really pushing. I know right before Mythic, when they opened up Mythic Race and stuff like that, or not the Mythic Race, but like they opened up Nighthold to be Mythic, set to that difficulty. A lot of these people, if they weren't at 54, they were pushing. They were doing
everything they
Mythic
could.
After Mythic, jumping in. They're like doing the keystones and stuff, because you get a lot, especially when you get to those higher.
But it doesn't.
Mythic pluses.
This is the conversation that I had with Andre too. I was like, I don't understand, because Thursday, I got my 18th trait, and then so that was Thursday. So yesterday was Friday. I did just over 1 million artifact power. That was just from one heroic dungeon. All of my world quests out there with AP and the emissary. Today I did 1.45 because they had the extra dungeon quest with the 100,000. So like I literally am getting a lot. But the point is that this is what bothers me about this whole thing, is that people are questioning, well, if you're just going to change it, why should we do it? Well, the reason that you should do it is because when they do change it, you're already going to have this stockpile of artifact power that you can legit use. Because they're saying like, do not stockpile it, do not go over the amount because you're going to lose it. It's going to go away.
Yeah.
So,
you stockpile it by applying it to your weapons.
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
Don't be dumb.
You keep
Don't
going.
be dumb.
And this is my concern is because people, unfortunately, people are inherently lazy. So no one wants to, I don't want to do these world quests either. And I'm so excited. Next week, I might not have to do them on her anyway, Brookz. But please don't, I'm just worried people are just going to be like, screw it. But you're just going to fall behind then in 7.2 because
you're gonna be immediate. And to think that, so keep in mind that we're constantly building into our artifact weapon. So to think that you are going to get into your 54th trait, and then they're going to refund that back. So they're just going to set you back to 35.
give you all the
and so there's a lot of they give you all that artifact because you've invested it, so they don't want you to lose it. So you get this huge jump to like all this artifact power to respend, and so they've been playing around. They've been doing some really cool stuff with that. So it's going to be like some added traits, as well as you can start to delve into certain traits that are very powerful for you, instead of it just being an overall like your weapon is stronger and whatever is stronger. This trait here is really important to me, and now you can start to give a little bit more into it to a certain level. And so you're going to be able to apply a little bit to stuff. You're going to come out of the gate with a little bit of strong, but you're going to...
It makes you a little bit more unique, I guess. Grind. Right? Yeah. Because you can pick and choose. Yeah. It's almost like when we used to be able to pick and choose what we were going to learn.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's, it's a really cool concept. And I know that they're moving into other like hidden looks and stuff that are going to be coming that I know that have been going on in 7.2 and they even mentioned it at BlizzCon. So one of the cool things is you're going to have scenario type kind of thing. I think it's going to be like, remember in Mist of Pandaria when you had to go get your cloak, and then one of your final quests to get that.
Yeah.
It was the cloak, right? Yes,
no,
it was cloak.
It was a ring. Wasn't it the legendary?
Was it
the
ring?
I didn't play Mist.
I don't remember.
No, that was Draenor. Never mind. It was probably a cloak.
Yeah, no, it was the cloak. Yeah, it was the cloak. And you had to do this special scenario, and the scenario adapted and changed depending on, like, for me as a hunter, the BM, if I was BM, it would be a certain way of the fight it. If I was marksman, it'd be a different fight that was ensuing.
Yeah.
Survival was, which no one played, but still was a different fight. I mean, so it had its own unique, so you can't just go in there and be like, I'm going to dominate everything. And at that point in time, I was highly geared, and it was still hard because it was like, if I messed up one thing or if I focused too much because I was about to kill this thing and then I would die because I got my stack too high, or, and it created better players, and you had to really earn your legendary. So I always hated when, not hated, I disagreed, I guess I should say, with people that were like, oh my god, everyone gets a legendary. I was like, it sounded like it was given to you. There's a lot of time and work, and then at the end thing that you had to do is you had to really prove that you were a player. So I like how they're doing this new like legendary look that they're going to be bringing in 7.2, this new like quest and stuff like that to get this look, and it's going to be
like getting the new, like, because I can understand people's points, like legendaries
when
are
people
given away
see
like
this
candy.
weapon. Yeah, like when people see this weapon, it's going to be like, oh, this person knows how to actually play their class.
Right.
Because I can only assume that it's not going to be. I mean, I love playing my BM Hunter, and I look at myself being really awesome at playing it, but I don't think I'm going to walk into this scenario and do it in one shot. I think I'm going to have to pound at it a few times and figure out what am I messing up on, because it's going to be like a whole new thing. That's going to be very interesting. I'm really excited about
what happens. Yeah, for sure. But I have to say, though, that I am not impressed with the new Paladin mount for 7.2, the class mount. Like, come on, man. We had a horse before.
But you got a hammer on the back of your seat.
Oh, wow.
No.
Yeah, I did forget about that hammer. It makes all the difference in the world. I mean, I don't get to fly on a swirly, misty thing, and I don't get like a cool raven or a nice looking cat or something. We get a horse.
I would say that we're
getting screwed.
To be honest, you and the warlocks.
And nobody gave us any lube before they stuck it in.
on why they just did another armor. And I get it because paladins are like
Like the mages
you've always pushed up.
Yeah.
No, I actually think the mages are above the paladins.
Well, they get that flying disc
I know
thing.
I've said this. They get a disc with some rolly balls that change colors depending on if they're fire, frost, or
Shamans get the
arcane.
good
like,
one.
oh yeah, shamans
Even
take the
Death
cake
Knights, they
on
get
that.
this cool dragon thing. Like, why? Everybody gets a cool one.
Yeah, but see, okay, all right. So we'll break down the mounts here, and this is completely our own opinions. Okay, so unimaginative on warlocks and paladins.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I get why they were pushing for that, because anytime that there's been a new paladin mount, like especially when you had to earn your warlock, your dread steed and stuff, it upgrades. It looks better. And so with these, they are like yours has got more armor on it and stuff like that. So yes, I get it, but it just seems unimaginative.
Yeah, like I don't get a cool flying raven or anything.
Yeah, with the disc on the mages. I would have, if they really wanted to push it. I guess a disc, but I mean, it's just so it's just so dumb. In my opinion, and obviously, and I like how the orbs and yes, a lot of these videos and stuff that people have seen on this stuff, it doesn't really show into it because they have a lot of like trail graphics that happen. But I would have thought like a little bit more if you're gonna just have them be in this on the disc. How about do like there's this fire orb or this like flame that they're like conjuring as they're flying around, that's pushing them up. And the same thing with this frost. Yeah, I mean, just like for whatever you are, that it changes. Like that takes imagination and drive. Now, obviously, graphic levels and stuff. This is a game that is played by the masses, and a lot of people don't have like this amazing computer or anything like that. And I get that. So you have to make it graphically pleasing to everyone that depending on if they have e-machine or they have like this rig that they operate on. So I get that.
Can't even sell me the paladin horse. It doesn't matter if it has a hammer on the back.
No,
you can't.
So that's cool, and that's what I feel like they did. They added a little bit more plate and they put a hammer on the end.
It's the same horse, man.
Good job, Lizard.
It's the same horse, and like and I get it. I mean, but the priests have a pretty cool mount. The rogues have a suit like that.
See, I disagree with you on that. I disagree with you on that.
Love the crow.
I look at the priest. Yeah. Oh, the crow.
I
yes.
love the rogue mount.
A lot of people that don't like the crow, I've heard some people are just like, I don't get it. It's kind of like, dude,
like
that's
the dark
that's
evil,
Ravenclaw.
Man.
That is their not only their whole thing has been with the ravens and stuff. So now they actually get their own raven, like nostalgia of just the thought. And I know it looks like a simple mount, but
it's wicked. It epitomizes a rogue, like as far as I'm concerned. Yes, it epitomizes
it goes
them.
into their it drives. You start playing a rogue from level 1, you've all been part of the Ravens. Ravencroft, I can't think of the name right now, but the whole thing, and then now you finally have earned your mount that is a Raven. Like, just nostalgia on that. And I know it, like I said, I know it seems like a simple mount, but it's nostalgia of lore that's gone on that has allowed them to push.
It makes me want to level my rogue to 110. I'm not even kidding. That mount alone. And like I like the priest mount. I think that owl is freaking cool.
I disagree.
I love it.
That is one of the ones that I'm confused on why this is loved by so many.
Because it's pretty and you're not a girl.
But you look at it on the side, the head just looks awkward and weird.
That's just now.
It's just like this big owl thing, and it's just like it wouldn't make me like I need to have that. It was just like, yeah. I think to me it was just
But then again,
I feel bad a little bit for the druids. But
okay.
I get it. Now they don't get this little bird. They get this. They just transformed into this massive owl.
I like theirs.
Basically.
I do. I like theirs, and I think the warrior is like spot on. That big dragon with like the "I'm gonna get you." Love it. Right. I think that they.
Well, even the Death Knight one. Is it's cool, but it's been done.
But they've all been done.
That's the thing.
That's the point.
Well,
right?
and yours have, not mine.
Well,
Hunters take the cake, in my opinion. Well, I don't know. They don't beat the shaman. Shamans, that they allowed one person to step out of the box. I think they allowed 2 people, in my opinion. All right. So just something that's completely different and new is the shaman and hunter.
No, I wouldn't agree with you on the hunter. I mean,
because you have because oh man, if you actually get close to it, it's got a head of a wolf, body of, I mean, it's like a liger. I mean, it's just amazing. And then it jumps, and then its wings come out of nowhere, just like
the only reason
oh
that
my
I'll
God.
agree with you on this hunter mount, or the only way, is if you get yourself a Napoleon Dynamite Vote Pedro shirt with the moon boots, tight jeans, and get to dancing and post it on Twitter. Then I'll agree with you. I think you can pull that off. I think you can pull it off. And then, you know, you will pay homage to the liger.
Yeah. Well, I look at the shaman, and I look at the shaman mount, and I look at the hunter mount, and it's not because I play a hunter, and I'm happy that I have it, or that I'm going to have it. But when I look at those two mounts, I see imagination. Whereas the other mounts, I don't see any imagination. I see, like, yeah, demon hunters, you have, all right, so we'll start off with Death Knights. Yeah, that's cool, but it's been done. That was Arthesis. I mean, it's cool to have, you know, that mount and all that kind of good stuff. But it's basically the same thing, especially if you did all the achievements. A lot of people have a mount that almost looks like that. You have the demon hunter. Yeah, that's cool mount, but it's the same mount that they have in their own plays all the time. So now they finally get to ride one. Like, no imagination, in my opinion. It's just, yeah, it has maybe a little bit more armor on it. Big deal. You know, and then we can go down, and like when I look at the priest one, yeah, it looks cool. But I feel like it's mocked right off of the druid. I don't know who came out with theirs first, druid or the druid like bird form, or this new mount form or whatever, or the priest. Because if you look at them, you put them side by side, they basically look the same, especially in the head, and that's what people notice the most. And so to me, it's just there was lack of imagination, in my opinion. But then when I look, and obviously we've talked about, you know, warlocks and priest and things like that, or not priests, but paladins and mages. But when I look at obviously the shaman, that's just amazing. And then even the hunter. I mean, they take all the cool aspects of a hunter by meaning like all the different types of pets that we can tame out there, specialty pets, non-specialty pets, just regular wolves and things like that. And then they combine it into this mount. It's just, it took imagination to think of that. And same thing with the shaman. It's just, there was imagination into those. And that's why I like those the most out of all the mounts that are out there.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm excited to see them when they're live, like just to see what they're going to look like for real, you know?
Yeah, I'm excited to get into the path. Like what it's going to be like to achieve those things. To get those, to earn them. Like what's going to be going on with those. All right, so a little bit more with the PTR is the Broken Shore. It's gonna be like Timeless Isle. I think it's gonna, you know, Timeless Isle was awesome, and so I think that they're so along with invasions that are going to be happening, there's going to be the Broken Shore is going to be opening up, and the Broken Shore, it's kind of like our fight. We're, you know, taking the fight, going into Tomb of Sargeras, and with that, I have a few questions, and I just want to see what your take is on it. And you know, obviously, I have my take. Is do you think that we need another Timeless Isle? Do you think it's needed to be able to push to that?
I think that the Timeless Isle was interesting, but again, I didn't really play Mists of Pandaria, but I did when I, like, right before Draenor came out, like I said, I came back like 3 months before, I think. I like the concept of it. I like the fact that, like, it's kind of an ever-evolving mashup of things, like the coins and, like, what were they called again? The coins that Horde could kill Horde, and, you know, the blood, I can't remember. And then there was rares, and then you could do lots of achievements, and it was a PvP area, and like, I think they took a whole bunch of stuff that people loved, and they shoved you into a small space and said, let's see how many of you kill each other. And, you know, I get it. But didn't they do the same thing in Draenor kind of too with Asheran? Like, wasn't it similar, or was that just all PvP?
No, that was just a PvP zone that you had to click in to join a group.
Okay.
It was like an open world PvP that was.
I'm kind of down.
Gated.
I'm down for it. Like I'll try it and see what happens. At this point, I'm game for anything. You know, let's see what happens. And I think that I am pleased that Blizzard is going in a different direction other than just giving everybody everything that they want. Like I am excited that people will have to work for things. And I think this expansion is all about how much work are you willing to put into the game.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. And so onto that, like, I would say that I think Timeless Isle, it was put in place to be basically a placeholder because Blizzard needed more time. And I think they had a great aspects for it to be. But way that Blizzard has been pushing things, this is kind of like their rehash. I do believe it was their whole plan to have Broken Shore kind of like the Timeless Isle, but we've seen what Timeless Isle was. It had a lot of fun stuff, but it just lasted too long. Wow, it was basically a placeholder. Whereas now, with the way they're coming out with content and way they're keeping us motivated, and they're keeping us pushing, that I think that the Broken Shore is going to be a lot of fun. I think they're going to do it right this time. Whereas when they introduce it, I think it's going to be tough. And I think it's going to have a lot of like elite bosses out there and stuff that we're going to be taking on, and we're going to be pushing around. And I think we're going to be going to like a common goal, because at this point, what they want a little bit more of is, yes, it's a PvP server, or if you play on PvP servers, yes, but I think we're also trying to push to a common goal to that, because there's also going to be invasions that are going to be happening during this time, when 172, which is going to totally close down an area, are going to be, I don't know how to say, like, they can be fun. I've seen some stuff. I've looked onto PTR, and they have a lot of tweaking. I think a lot of people are hating on these invasions that are happening. They're going to be happening throughout the world. They're going to like say it's in Azuna, and basically Azuna shuts down, and you have to do these world quests that are now invasion world quests that are going to be popping, which is cool. It's a good. A lot of people said that it's like, oh, it doesn't feel like it was with the invasions. I don't know how many people did invasions, but they were cool like the first couple of days. But once you've done them a couple of times, like I don't understand where some of you were like, ooh, I felt like we were fighting. I was like, it was boring, like literally boring after a little while. And I will admit that. And it was cool just because we haven't had it like an invasion event and stuff before, an expansion came out, and since Lich King. Like, that was the last time we had anything that like got us excited before the actual expansion came out. So I think these are going a little bit, they're going, once you've completed like killing some like mini bosses that are out there, and obviously a couple of these are going to be kind of like just like if you were to do like a warden's quest where usually you kill one person and then you have like some like bar you have to fill up, and so you'll have a whole zone that you have to fill this bar, and the more you do work on to stuff, you fill up this bar, and then it throws you up, like you get to go mount up, and like there's every zone will have its own type of mount and cool stuff, and you get on this mount, and then you get to go fly all the way up to a ship that is like invading down, just like we saw before, which before we would just like before like the pre-invasion event, the ship we would see it in the air, and which was throwing down bosses and things like that we would be all killing, and then moving forward, then it would just disappear. Now we get on the mountain, we actually board this ship, and I think it's going to go into a scenario when you get on the ship. It's going to be like a 3 or 4 person scenario. When you get on the scenario, every ship is different. You're going to have like flames that are gonna be like coming out, like you have to like wait, and then you have to move forward like a Frogger type kind of things to move forward and to move into anything, so then you go kill the big guy at the end. So it's really cool. I think it's a lot of fun stuff that's going on with that I think a lot of people are negating and saying it seems lackluster. But keep in mind, if anybody's checking this stuff out on PTR, it's PTR, so they're looking at certain things, and there's going to be improvements. If it's hated by a community, they're going to do upgrades and things. I think right now they want to see how the scenarios are going on, so they're seeming that the other stuff is lackluster, just because so people can hurry up and get up there and see the scenarios. But it seems really neat into that, and with the Broken Shore stuff is going to be, I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do and how the quests are going to be out there. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun though.
It should be a little bit more tough though, because it's kind of, closer to the end of the expansion.
Yeah, and it's going in, and keep in mind, people, what we're doing here, and it's not going to be next week or anything like that, but I mean, in shows to come, we're going to be doing a lore sections and things like that. We're going to be talking about some of this stuff and what you're fighting for, why we're fighting for this stuff. Anybody that's been playing the game since the beginning kind of gets it, but a lot of people come in and out and kind of miss stuff. I'm one of the unfortunate people that I've been here from the beginning, and I've continued to be here. So I love the lore of Blizzard and with World of Warcraft. So it's so much fun moving into all that kind of good stuff. So the going into micro holidays.
Yeah, micro holidays.
Micro
I'm pretty
holidays.
sure that we won on our server, right?
Yes, yes. Not only our server, our battle group. So keep in mind. So on our battle group, everyone else, if you don't know, go to Silithid. You go to Encourage and go see if you have your flag there. Because on our server and our battle group, it will be flying our Horde flag for a year.
Take
So we'll
that,
see you next year,
Tel'Thuzad.
Alliance.
Take that.
Right? Yeah, you
and
don't
your
know.
ganking,
You don't know
ganking
nothing.
ways.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a cool event. And like I said before, and I know I talked about it last week, it was a lot of nostalgia with that event, which was a lot of fun. We also have a new micro holiday already coming up, which will be coming on Tuesday. We will be going over our takes on it next week. Towards the end and things like that, as we usually do when we come to micro holidays. But so this one is the Karen Tour pub crawl.
I'm wondering, like, if those mages have really nothing better to do in Dalaran than crawl through pubs on their hands and knees.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing out there?
Yeah, right. We all have our takes on how this one's going to be. Keep in mind, y'all, there's no achievements. This is usual. There's no achievements, rewards, or anything like that are coming along
just
with
drinking
this.
games.
This is
just drinking games.
Yeah,
drinking games.
Right. This is community event. So I think one of the biggest things is that Blizzard, in my opinion, Blizzard is pushing is not only so the first one is the Call of the Scarab that we did. So you have a little bit of nostalgia, bringing back with the times that it shut down the servers and things of that nature. Now we have something totally cool and different. It's called the Kirin Tor Pub Crawl. This isn't going to be something that you're going to do over, 4 or 5 days. You have one night. It's going to be here on Tuesday and it shuts down on Wednesday. It's done. So you have one day to go there and check it out. So get all your world quests and all that kind of cool stuff done. And then it starts in Dalaran. There is a mage that's going to be out there outside of your factions hold section. There's going to be a big old beer mug that's going to be floating around. You're going to click on it and it's going to take you to your first pub crawl.
Do you know the names of the mages? Because I do.
Oh no, yeah, I remember knowing something.
So
but
I don't know which one's Horde and Alliance though, but I giggled a little bit to myself when I read this. So it's Tipsy Wobble Run and Inebria Sunwine. Yeah. I'm assuming Sunwine is probably Hordes because it sounds more like a blood elf name, but like Inebria. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm thinking they're probably going to be in pretty hoish outfits as well. Because they sound both like women. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, you're going to go around the world. You're going to go to different pubs. Basically, you're just going to go to different pubs around the world of Azeroth. Well, I guess I should say around the world of World of Warcraft, because not only you're going to go to Outlands, Azeroth, Mist of Pandaria, so on and so forth, Draenor, and you're going to go to these pubs. And there's going to be special stuff that's going to be going on. So first and foremost, it's going to sound Hearthstone. So it's going to have like some sound effects and stuff. So when you're actually, it's going to sound like people are talking and having a good time. There's going to be different people dressed accordingly to certain things. There are going to be some people dancing and stuff. It's a pub crawl. And then scattered around these little sections or these pubs is going to be special stuff you're going to be drinking and things like that. You can click on. These do give you buffs. So this could be good for raids and stuff like that. It gives you buffs to your highest secondary stat. So you'll get, I think it's plus 300 or something like that to a secondary stat. So you're going to get buffs to this stuff. And then you go to a pub. You're going to be there in about a few minutes are going to pass. And then another mage is going to pop up. If you miss him, he'll be there in another few minutes. And you click on it, he'll take you to another pub. And you basically just go, and I think there's like 12 pubs you're going to go to. So it's a good time to connect with your guild, connect with friends, have a good time, make a drinking game if y'all want to have fun and stay at home and have some drinking games at home and things like that. It's on a Tuesday, big deal. It's after raid. And go hit up the pub crawl. Go have fun,
for all of you that don't have jobs on Wednesday morning, we suggest getting extremely wasted and pub crawling with World of Warcraft friends. Just so you know.
Yeah. Or don't drink water, whatever you want to do. I think it's a really cool event that definitely is going to bring
homage to the UK for sure. Like I feel like, because when I lived in the UK, man, we used to do that all the time. Do like the pub crawls. Yeah. It was non-memorable though, because you couldn't really remember anything that happened after like the fourth or fifth pub.
Yeah.
You just woke up next to a big pile of puke,
Right.
still dressed in your clothes, wondering who that was sleeping beside you. So, but it was fun. Shout out to my UK friend. It's true. Shout out to
man.
Biggles.
So
Shout
yeah,
out
no,
to
that's
Biggles.
awesome. Biggles. But yeah, I mean, have fun. I think, y'all, if you want it to be boring and dumb, then it will be boring and dumb. But if you go into it and you have a good time and you just take it for what it is, it's a game. It's not an actual, like, you're going to different pubs in the game, but it's how you, if you want to just let yourself go and have a good time with it, I guarantee you you're going to have a good time. So have fun. And it could be a social event. And I think that's what they're just doing. Just bringing people that want to have a social fun stuff. And it's only one day, then it's gone. And then we'll be looking forward to the next, micro holiday that we'll be getting in February, which I know will be coming with the,
Hippogriff.
what is
It's Hippogriff.
the what? I'm sorry. Oh yeah. With the and then we also have our Valentine's Day one as well. I can't remember the name of it.
Well, Love
big
is in the
holiday
Air
one.
begins on the 7th of February, so that's pretty close.
is in
And
the
the
Air.
Lunar Festival too ends on the 4th. So next Saturday, Lunar Festival's over. So if you haven't gone and paid homage to all your elders, you better
Right.
go get doing that. But it looks like the end of
If you already have the achievement,
yeah,
then
I
probably
don't, so I have to
doing
keep
it
going.
like me.
But the hatching of the hippogriffs.
Is there any cool new pets?
Oh,
I mean, actually, is
there
there any new
was
pets? or
one.
anything
I don't
like
know
that
if it's new,
like,
but I have
it's-
to go. Like, I'll let you know later tonight because I'm almost finished and I have to go back and buy the
Okay.
clothes and like whatever. And I know there was one pet there, and I know Death asked me the same thing, and I linked it to him, but he never said if it was new or not. So because it could be.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check
When
that
I
out.
originally did all these
Um,
achievements, it was pre
mhm.
like pet battles, pre getting pets and toys and stuff. So this was all like you just got the achievement, that was your win. You know what I mean?
So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff. There's we're going to be continuing next week. We're going to be going over some other stuff with hopefully where we're progressing into heroic and some things. So just stay tuned for next week. Other than that, you can always email us. We didn't have any emails this
Sad
week.
face.
But that's fine. But yeah, you can email us at wowreckoninghour@gmail.com, as well as you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at wowreckoninghour. And Brooks, where can we find
I'm
you?
on Twitter at Brookz WRH, and then I'm on Instagram as well as Brookz WRH. And normally I'm posting fantastic photos. I'm still trying to find one for today that I feel is good. And I just wanted to say, if I could wave a flag on the world first to Mythic, I pick the Russian server. Just so you guys know, I'm Canadian, and I think maybe Russian server should win. Just saying.
I think Serenity's going to pull it out. I think they're going to end up winning, but I'm still hoping for Limit, a U.S. server, to be
Don't
get the world
forget,
first for once. I'm really
Team
excited.
Sniper,
hoping-
Team Brookz. Who's right? Let us know down below.
Oh yeah, about the patch. Yeah, April. April is what everyone's going to be saying
No.
anyway, so it doesn't
You keep
matter.
thinking I'll consult Khadgar and see what he has to say.
But yeah, that is our show today. So like I said, email us with your questions. We want to make sure we reach out to you at wowreckoninghour@gmail.com. But other than that, y'all be safe, keep calm, and fly on.